Lizard Fornication, PeePee Warrior pops in again, and a shiny knight flogs himself. Those stories and more today as a Plot Thickens. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, it is I, Johnny O from the Plot Hole, coming at you from behind this avatar today. My back is twisted up and I can't sit, stand, lay down, anything. I'll be back on screen next time. Enough of that whinging stuff. On to the news. The Triggered Limey, formerly known as Limey Play, has broke the 1,000 subscriber mark. Triggered Limey tackles many bad ideas like Phuket words, flat earth beliefs.
Now, before we carry on, I just want to check something. I'm not convinced that Phuket Word isn't Eric the Bay's dad, you know. Anyway, enough dawdling about, we should really see what this video is about, shouldn't we? So, take it away, you prick.
I came across this thing, 3 experiments that prove the Earth is round, to celebrate Science Day 2020 by proving the Earth is not flat. So
I know, sunshine, ridiculous that in this day and age we need to actually show people that the Earth isn't flat, when most of us actually paid attention in school and learned how to determine it for ourselves when we were only knee-high to a grasshopper. Since apparently you're supposed to be about 9 foot tall, you should have had plenty of time to cement that knowledge into your dense noggin, as opposed to following your fellow down the rabbit hole.
let's have a look at what's being said here and the proposed experiments. If you scroll down here, we've got the usual ridiculous kind of imagery where we've got a CGI globe here, and then this idea that the Earth is a flat disk floating around in space. So of course that immediately sends you off into this false dichotomy.
Yes, people use images to help explain what they're talking about. It's nothing new, it's been going on for a bloody long time. And since flat Earth is bollocks, why not poke a little fun at it too?
Be sure to head over to the Triggered Limey and check out his style. Tell him Johnny O from the Plot Hole sent you. In a related story, Rob Parks steps into the void that is Sleeping Warrior's brain. Astronomer Rob Parks took the time out of his day to speak with none other than Sleeping Warrior.
No, there isn't, because you haven't got a manipulated variable to prove the cause of the effect.
We are going around in circles here.
No, we're not. We're not.
Yes,
What's
we are,
happening now?
because,
No, stop. We're not going round in circles. You're cornered and you're claiming we're going round in circles. The point is this: you don't have any independent variables that you manipulate to prove the cause of the effect that you believe that you're observing. You correlate with observation only, with no experiment whatsoever.
Where does it say that you must, absolutely must, have a manipulated variable?
I've just given you the title. I mean, I only went
No,
through
you haven't.
there.
You have never, in all of this, I can replay the tape, you have never once shown me where you have to have a manipulated variable to do something.
I'll show you it again now. So this is the page that I brought up before, and we didn't quite get to it, but look. So stage 4 says, state the purpose of the project. In our example, for an astronomer, scientist that you say that you are, we want to find out what the cause of the lux variations in Andromeda is. That would be the cause. Yeah.
Let me clear something up. When something is moving at a constant velocity, I believe that it will continue to move in that constant velocity, both speed and magnitude, or speed and direction, unless acted upon by an outside force, an unbalanced force. I just want to make that clear, because I think you had said that I didn't believe that. So what I'm getting to ultimately is what I find to be fascinating is that you're essentially an Aristotelian. Because Aristotle basically has come to these same conclusions, that an object cannot move unless there is an impetus behind it. All things move to an end.
That's a stereotype fallacy. That I am not an Aristotelian
Aristotelian,
at all.
but all right, yeah, okay.
I'm not.
All
all you've done there is pigeonholed me so that you can ascribe labeling fallacies against me, and that's not okay.
All right, apologize. I apologize.
All I'm saying is that the egg stopped moving because I didn't put enough pressure in it by putting enough salt in it. If I'd have put 10 granules more, the egg would have gone further. But I stopped doing that. You haven't manipulated.
So let's go back to something else. You
haven't manipulated the planets that you thought were passing in front of it.
I think we have really beat the horse to death of that.
No, I don't. I don't. I think that we've got way more to do with this, because I don't think you understand what science is, and I think that you think.
So my question to you is: I have let you talk for a very long period of time. So here, let me do this. You were saying that universities are targeting gullible people to spend lots of money.
Oh yes.
Okay. All right. So, what my question to you because you're saying that scientists do not think that astronomers are real or are real scientists.
No.
Who are these scientists?
No, there are none. You're claiming that these scientists are claiming that what you're doing is science.
No, you are saying that astronomy is not
science. Look, show me somebody that adheres to scientific method that will qualify your statements. Don't show me somebody that doesn't. That would be an astrology department or an astronomy department in a university. They don't adhere to scientific method, but they want people to think that they do. So they're going to say that they're scientific because it sounds better for them if they claim science. The reality is it's defined. If you don't adhere to scientific method and have experiments in your science, then you're not doing science. You are simply doing observational studies. And that, my friend, is what you're doing.
Who defined the scientific method?
We've all dealt with Riley and his streams before, so when P-Break went into his usual script of science denialism and misrepresentation, Rob Parks quickly pointed out the many flaws presented. Be sure to check out that whole interaction, though I must warn you, it's quite extensive. Irish Demon reminds us that no matter how crazy Uncle Ricky is, he's not "I almost had relations with a lizard alien" crazy. Good lord.
Good afternoon, lads and lassies, the Irish Demon here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about this preacher who claims that an alien took over her husband's body and tried to get freaky with him. What is it that we call that again, CC? Getting to something or other? I can't remember. Remind me.
Just look at it as getting with the jigging, okay?
So End Times preacher Sharon Gilbert went on this show and decided to tell the world with a kind of straight face that an alien took over her husband's body and tried to get it on.
Getting with the jigging.
One night, this other Derek appears in our bed. The real Derek is lying down next to me. Other Derek sits right up out of it. It startled me. I knew that was not Derek, and so I asked this critter, "Who are you?" Because he clearly wanted to have sexual relations. And he said, "Come on, I'm your husband." I said, "Who are you?" And he had the nerve to claim to be Ahasuerus. Xerxes. Well, other Derek seriously wanted to invite me to use my free will to do something that was going to pull me away from God.
Most of you wonder why we cover these types of individuals. Well, I laughed a bit too hard at this one. How about you? These are folks leading churches and trying to influence legislation. Shouldn't we at least point and laugh at them? Good at sex champion SirSic has decided that he's due some sort of community service as he's taken on a new video by creationist Matt Powell.
Hi there. I'd like to ask you a very important question.
Oh, hello, Matt Powell. I'm sorry, my good man. I don't know who you are, because I'm just some mustache guy. SirSic isn't here today, unfortunately, so you can't ask any questions, because again, I am just the mustache man. God damn it, I can't keep that up, sorry. It is I, SirSic. I know I had you all fooled. I was trying to get away with not talking to Matt today, but I can only wear the mustache for about 20 seconds before it starts to burn. And then, not long after that, Yeah, this was a bad idea all around, not gonna lie.
If you died today, are you 100% sure?
That I'll be happy? Yes, because I won't have to do the Who-Mans anymore. You'll all be gone, I'll be happy. Although I'm not going to do anything to speed along that process, out of spite. Plus, there's a chance that you'll all spontaneously mustache, and then I get what I want and get to do an alive. Everybody wins.
I'll never understand why SirSic decides to punish himself over and over again with the moronic ramblings of Matt Powell. SirSic, I invite you onto the show for a chat. Maybe we can sort out whatever it is you think you did to deserve this torture. Finally, in my most recent video, I showcased 2 instances of police officers doing something that is out of the perceived ordinary. They didn't shoot the bad guys. Most of you appreciated the sentiment that not all cops are bad. Some of you didn't. Look, I would be insensitive at best if I didn't acknowledge that the interactions displayed in my video are not universal. Not everyone has these types of experiences with police officers. I wish they did. And I wish it was as simple as if the person stopped, simply cooperated. Because we've seen several, too many, instances of cooperation ending in tragedy. Philander Castile ring any bells? Many different people have had many different ideas on how we could solve the issue of police public relations. Some good, and some not so good. One of the not so good ideas is to ignore the race issue. The problem with that idea is that it is the problem, the perception of race being the issue. That's convoluted. If we choose to ignore the history of police interactions with black people, then we're doing a huge disservice to our fellow citizens. Before I continue, I want to clear up any confusion. I don't think that all people who support the police are racists or blind to the issues surrounding race in this country. I also don't think that all of the people who support the idea of defunding the police are looking for anarchy. We have to get away from the false dichotomy that's being pushed onto us by media, politicians, family members, friends, whatever. There's a boatload more nuance to this issue. Well, what's your great idea, I hear you ask? Well, I don't know that I have a great idea. I have the thought that conversation has to be had amongst us. We have to acknowledge that certain people are targeted a bit more than others, regardless of how we feel and regardless of why we think that is. We all have to learn how to give a little more in these conversations. No, I don't think that all cops are tyrants, former school bullies, etc. Yes, I do think that we have too many who are. I also think that we ask too much of our police force. Should we defund the police? Maybe. Do I think that's the best and only option? Of course not. I think we should take a giant look where police budgets are allocated. Does a small rural town in Alabama need a tank? Why? We seem to be tasking our police force with way too much. We've asked them to be civil servants, law enforcement, mental health professionals, marriage counselors, etc. Perhaps we should reallocate some of those funds to retrain cops on de-escalation and hire professionals in these other areas. Just a thought. And that's where we need to be a little forgiving. When someone brings a thought or an idea to the table, let's not be so quick to shoot it down. Let's give it the attention it's due, whether you agree with the idea or not, and whether or not you've heard the idea. Now, some of you won't take the advice and roast me in the comments. That's fine. That tells me that you've no care to actually solve the issue. And that's fine too. Just do us all a favor and stay out of the way of the rest of us who do. And that's our show. Be sure to tune in Tuesday night for the Plot Hole live stream and Fridays for the podcast where I invite guests on to have these types of discussions, along with other fun stuff. If you enjoyed yourself, do me a favor and hit that like button, share this on all the socials, and leave me a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications on future episodes. I want to send a special thank you to all of my channel members and patrons. Your support means the world to me. If you want to join, links are in the description. As always, I'm Johnny O, and I'll be sure to keep you updated as the plot thickens.